Hi YouTube, Mr. User Boss here, and as a little bit of a continuation from my last video, which was about the iPhone 7, I actually thought it would be kind of appropriate, and a couple of people asked me to do a video on what I actually think would be really good features to actually see on the next iPhone device. So number one I'm actually going to say is the ability to put third-party launchers on. So this is something that is not really necessary, but just a really cool thing that you can do with Android. In that within literally less than a minute you can fully change the way your phone looks, feels and functions. Okay, so something which I think a lot of people can agree on is that we don't want to see a device that's even slimmer. If we actually take, for example, a phone like the S5 Active, I actually think that's a very good build. It's sturdy, it's slim, it's waterproof, but at the same time, it's actually very functional. I think that getting thinner and thinner not only sort of takes away from the sort of luxury premium feel of the device, but it also makes it significantly more fragile. The amount of people you see with smashed iPhone bodies, screens and cases, it's not good. I genuinely think that the future of phones is in a build like this, and to be honest I'd feel much more secure with something that's a little bit bulkier. I'd say that the same applies to tablets and pretty much all other electronic devices as well. I think that the weight is quite reassuring. Okay, so something which is really not at the level that it should be is the voice assistants of today. So we've got to the stage where you can sort of use them to open apps, search things on the web and send a very basic text message. But I really think that the next stage and the next leap forward is going to be by the actual humanization of these things. So firstly, Apple should try and figure out a way of making these robots actually sound human. Then they should really try and actually embed some artificial intelligence which will truly make them understand and connect with the user, and I think if any company's going to do this, it's going to be Apple. So something which I've not really heard mentioned a lot, but something which I'd really personally want to see is a all the time on ultra reliable GPS tracker. So you can actually buy physical kits which let you, you clip it to a device, and then all around the world, whether it's off, on, out of battery, anything, you can still track its location. And I think by building something like that into the phone, again, it doesn't matter if it's thicker, but if you can build a full-on GPS tracker in, then I'd happily pay an extra £100 for that phone, because that's something which is really going to save me time. I wouldn't be worried about losing it anymore, because I know that I can just go onto my phone, laptop, tablet, whatever, and find it. Okay, so I think the SD card is getting more and more important as the years go by. I think that apart from the Nexus devices, just about every other Android manufacturer has now realized that this is something that almost every single consumer wants. So I kind of realize there's a pretty good reason why Apple is doing this, because obviously it's going to force people to upgrade to the higher capacity models, which is pretty expensive, a lot more expensive than it needs to be. So I think that if Apple does actually end up adopting micro SD cards, I think it's going to improve the health of the whole sector, as well as the sort of consumer benefit, which is in the end what we're really after. So something which annoys me on iOS devices is there's no way to actually remove the stock apps, whereas on Android you can root your device and then use a root uninstaller to get rid of anything you don't like. This is just not possible on Apple, and I think that especially considering how limited the space is on those devices, you really need to be able to do that, and I think that will really help people free up the phone for more stuff that they actually enjoy. Anyway guys, thanks a lot for watching. I'd be quite interested to just read what you guys actually think should be in the next iPhone, and things that you sort of noticed are missing that you really wish were there.